The Buckingham Palace, most notable for its tall gates, overlooming structure, and round-the-clock military guard. It doesn't exactly sound like the easiest place to break into, does it? So how did one man break into Buckingham Palace? Not once, but twice. Michael Fagan, born in Clerkenwell, London, shortly after the end of World War II, to Ivy and Michael Sr. Michael Sr. happened to have some interesting skill sets, one of which being the ability to break into any safe. In 1966, he ran away from home to escape his violent father, and went on to marry and have 4 children of his own. His first entry into the Queen's humble abode was in 1982, when according to Fagan's own account he scaled the walls of the palace, and later a drain pipe into the Queen's room. He was caught when he managed to startle the housemaid, who later informed the security guard there was an intruder clambering up the guttering. Fagan claims he entered the building through an unlocked window, where he spent the next hour eating cheese and crackers, and strolling through the halls of the palace. He also claims he viewed portraits of royal members, and spent the time wandering around before drinking a bottle of wine, and becoming tired and leaving. Afterwards, he was later arrested, but later released, as trespassing is merely a civil wrong in the UK, and not a criminal offence. He was charged with the theft of wine and cheese, but the charges were dropped, after a psychiatric evaluation. His second attempt came at around 7 AM on the 9th of July. The devoted royal snooper scaled the walls, topped with revolving spikes, and once more climbed up the drainpipe and wandered into the Queen's bedroom. An alarm sensor had detected movements, but the police simply thought the alarm was faulty, and silenced it. Fagan wandered the palace corridors for several minutes, before reaching the Queen's chambers. Fagan at this point had managed to cut his hand quite severely on a glass ashtray, after which he decided to enter the Queen's room, all whilst bleeding profusely. The Queen, who I'm sure was enjoying her beauty sleep, woke to the sight of Fagan standing at the end of her bed bleeding. She responded by leaving the room and seeking out security. At which point, Fagan sat at the end of the Queen's bed and requested cigarettes. A housemaid who had been cleaning the neighbouring room brought him cigarettes, much to his disbelief. Soon after that, duty footmen arrived with 2 policemen and escorted Mr. Fagan from the premises. It was not until 2007 that the palace was deemed a designated site for the purpose of Section 128 of the Serious Organised Crime and Police Act of 2005, that his offences were deemed criminal. Serial snooper Michael Fagan will no longer be able to join the Queen for cigarettes, but his late-night escapades will be forever remembered by the internet.